Yes, now family, welcome back to another video on Jazzy TV. Today we're going to go and get some allergy testing done. John Doyle Allergy Testing has invited me down to come and have a look. Speaking to him in the gym last week. Something I've always wanted to do, didn't know how to do it, didn't know where to go. I'm not too keen on needles. It can be quite invasive. You know, I will get needles if I have to for like the boxer medicals, border control tests and stuff like that. I will get them done, but I prefer not to. I don't like the feeling of the needles going in and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be quite invasive, but he said no. I'll show you the test now. I'll get some footage of it when I get here. But you don't get a needle here. You just get it. It's a different process. So that was a handy one. And I didn't know how to go about it really. Speaking to a fella last week in the gym, and he told me that he's went and had one. He said that he used to have, when he'd have a baby in his 20s, it used to get to him and he didn't know, but he was allergic to, is it barley or wheat or whatever's in the ale. So when he'd have an hangover, or what he thought it was an hangover, but it weren't, it was the intolerance that from the night before, what he was thinking and stuff like that. Now I'll list out in a minute. I'll read you the list of what, if anything. Ooh, bloody hell, come on Herbie, sort your heads out. If anything, I'm allergic to. Now, I do think that I am allergic to kiwis. Kiwis is something, I always get cold sores of kiwis. Don't know why I copped on, like when I was around 15 years old. When I was have a kiwi, I get a cold sore. I used to get them naturally anyway. And when I used to get run down, coming up to fighters start getting cold sores where the body's run down, stuff like that. But that's why I don't have them close to a fight, because when you do make the weight well and you want to look well and you're getting on the scales or you're going to press conferences, when you've got cold sores, these are small signs to fighters that he's run down or he's killed himself to make the weight. So you don't want a cold sore when you're coming up to a fight. So I don't ever have a kiwi, because there's been times in the past where I have turned up at a fight because I'm trying to eat healthy, and I have as a kiwi. Now I don't know what it is in the kiwi that gives me cold sores. Could be citrus, I don't know. I'll find out now, won't I? I don't know if the test is that it'll pinpoint every single thing. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's something inside the fruits what do this to you. I'm not too sure. I'll read it out in a minute. But oat milk is one of them. Do you remember a few years ago they had the documentary on What the Health, and everyone went vegan? I went vegan for about 14 hours, and I was having almond milk in my tea and my coffee, and it was proper doing my stomach in. So I think that there might be something in the almond milk that does that to me. Red meat, steak. When I've tried to eat steak, I've tried to get into steak, and people like it, don't think people love it, and I'm starting to get into it because people say it's nice and stuff like that, but I just don't like it. Don't like the way it makes my belly feels. It does something to my belly. So the steak's not the best. I'm saying there's something there in the steak, maybe in the red meat. I'm not too sure. What else would it be? Sugar. I've said this, I've spoken about this in the past, that I'm a food addict, can't go nowhere near sugar or some certain types of foods that send me off the rails. Now 4 years, I started the program 4 years ago. Now I'm not committed to the program like I was, but when I started it, I had to stay away from certain foods which contain sugar. A lot of people in the program, when I was in the program, was just called Overeaters Anonymous. They would say that the flour and sugar was there too. Now I don't know if they were talking metaphorically about saying they had an allergy to flour and sugar, or I think they were just saying that because like it was like that. They didn't come out with rashes. They came out with 3 stone of belly fat. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I get a weird reaction to sugar. Now I want it more and more. Now I think there might be something in sugar or something like along them lines. But the milk sometimes, I think it's called gastritis. I'm not too sure. Your belly rumbles when you have dairy. I think on that documentary we were talking about there, What the Health, I think it said something like 50%, it could be 45, could be 20, could be 75, I don't know actually, but it said that a lot of the world's population are actually dairy intolerant, and I think it was the black population is more dairy lactose intolerant than the white population, if I remember rightly. Could just be making that up. But anyway, I think I do get a bit of, I think it's called gastroenteritis, I get it when I drink milk. So that's the medical term for it. I know nothing about what I'm talking about here, by the way, but yeah, that's another one. I think I get something funny around the milk, definitely with the almond milk. The almond milk really do me in when I used to think that for them 14 hours when I was a vegan. And what else could I say? Maybe the lemons, when the lemon and lime, just the citrus, maybe could be linked to what I was talking about there with the kiwis. That's what I think anyway. Some foods I hope I'm not. Will I stay away from these foods? I don't know if I will or I won't, know what I mean? But it might benefit me. It might benefit me diet if I find out some of these foods that are actually bad for me, and it might make more sense why I feel the way I feel. So I'll be a bit more aware of it, therefore I'll stay away from it, and it won't be my first choice. Maybe it can help me out, or maybe it won't do nothing for me and I'll just go 10 times worse on these food, because that's the guy I am. You tell me I can't have something, I want it even more, like most of us. So yeah, I'm gonna go in here now, John Doyle. So yeah, I'll see you in there. So I'm down here at the intolerance test, and I've just had my test done. I found out, John, thank you for taking me through this. I found out that I'm wheat, barley, lager and almonds. I have intolerance to that. Could you explain to people who are watching or are looking to get this done, what they would be going through when they come here? And
okay, so it's completely painless, doesn't hurt at all. It's not allergy testing. So allergy testing is blood, needles, things like that. So intolerance testing you can do in different ways. This is non-invasive, completely safe, completely painless, pregnancy, anything like that. It's completely safe to come, no problem at all. So basically, we do the test, measure your energy levels for your acupuncture points on your hand. You're basically going to be adding different types of food into the test tube one by one to see how they react. As Jazz has just seen, it can cause a little bit of resistance on it if it fails, so it can be a little bit of a different sound, things like that. It's absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? Yeah, it works very, very clever, dead easy. And whatever you do come up with, it's aimed at people who suffer with any type of bloating, tiredness, IBS, gut problems, needing to go to the toilet, things like that, skin reaction, things like that, and life-changing for a lot of people. Yeah.
What was your story around this yourself?
So my story, it's a long story. I'll try and cut it as short as possible. So I was suffering with pretty much most things you can imagine, symptoms like bloating, skin, gut problems, anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia, pretty much everything. You've seen the list of symptoms. I won't be here all day naming them, but noticed about 17, 18, I left school, started studying nutrition, started trying, basically going to doctors would tell me everything was in my head, I've got anxiety and what have you, and I was thinking there's no way, because I've never been really a proper anxious person. I was more getting the symptoms like the heart palpitations and what have you. Anyway, started feeling weird after my food, started cutting different types of food out, having a little bit of trial and error, changed my life, cutting one food out, then cut another. Long story short, I've got about 20 foods I can't have. So yeah, my diet's very...
That was one thing there, John, like to me you look a lot healthier than most doctors, probably 90%, 100%, like 95% of doctors that I've ever come across. I'm not trying to bash doctors here, by the way, but do you think that the medicinal advice that they do give is sometimes a bit off? I think food's very important, isn't it?
So, I'm not going to slag doctors off, but the one thing, the difference between me and the doctors, this is prevention. So, a lot of people come to me because they go to doctors, and doctors can help you. Obviously, like normal things, you've got a broken arm and stuff, you're not going to come to me, you're going to go to a doctor. But for this is, if you've got any problems, let's just say you've got eczema, for example, so you'll go to doctors. Most people go to doctors and they'll get put on cream, steroid cream for the rest of their life. Where for me, so I get a little bit of eczema off red wine and lemon. So if I didn't find this out myself, obviously I did this for a living, so it didn't take me long when it did kick it off. If I did go to the doctors, that would be steroid cream for the rest of my life. Where they can help you, but it's only through medicine and pretty much pills, medicine, cream and what have you. So the thing with this is it's all natural, so you don't have to. If you've got any type of inflammation in your skin, you're feeling bloated, you're feeling gassy, this is to find out what's causing it, rather than basically on pills and things like that. And how I got into this originally, I had this test a long time ago. Been studying nutrition for years. I've got that many intolerances. It's pretty much been my life as Jazz. I've been over with Jazz and yeah, so this is it's really, really good. And the one thing I figured out with this was potatoes, which is heartbreaking, but yeah, that changed my life as well. Knee pain went and what have you, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that what I think there, John, is like
one thing giving advice based on the medical literature, but then again, experience is so important, isn't it? That's what you have experienced around this.
100%. Just for example, where I've give you, which is very common, you know, wheat, barley, and lager come up for you. Where
Can we go through this, John? What I've come up here?
No problem. Okay.
Can you explain
so
to me again, for the audience, what it is that's...
So almonds flagged up, which I think you had a bit of a suspicion about. I went over, I think you were suspicious about kiwi, which I've mentioned. There's a difference between algae and a kiwi, and I went over the symptoms with you, and that's more likely going to be an algae. But your wheat, barley and lager, which is very, very common. So that's going to be mainly in like bread, pasta, beer, gravy, noodles, wraps, things like that. And when you have come up with that, when I've mentioned it to you, Jazz has said straight away, do you know what, I can't have bread, I can't have pasta, I can't have pizza. So you've sort of confirmed that for me, haven't you? But it's just good to have that understanding. Why is pizza kicking me off? Why is pasta kicking me off? It's not where people think, oh, I have a big bowl of pasta and I feel terrible. And they think that's what pasta does. No, it doesn't. If I go and have a bowl of pasta now, I don't feel tired, I don't feel sluggish, I don't feel bloated, I don't feel gassy. That's because I don't go for normal pasta, I go for gluten-free pasta.
If I didn't have a performance, like I didn't have to go and perform in the gym, I would never know these because I only get a feel after I eat bread within 2 hours before the training session. But not everyone has that session to sort of have to perform for. So what would you say to people like who, a lot of people are probably oblivious, aren't they? Because they never come across.
Yeah, a lot of people, even people who know the nutrition. I used to do nutrition for years, and I think that's all in about gluten.
Yeah, I'll get it in the belly, John, and it's like there's the penalty. I'll get it in the belly and I want to go sick. So I can't do it, but not everyone gets it in the belly, so they don't find out, do they?
Yeah, exactly. So we're all different. Like some people, for example, can have a wheat intolerance, and they just feel tired. You know, I guarantee you, at least half the people watching this video now, think about it when you have your dinner in work or your tea. I guarantee you, at least half the people watching now will go, oh, I just want to go lie down on the couch. Yeah. It's most people. Not everyone gets that symptom. Some people just feel sick. Some people don't. They just need to go to the toilet. Some people get skin reactions. Everyone's different. That's the thing. Just because you come up with wheat, everyone's going to have different sensitivity levels. People are going to react different. You know, some people don't feel too bad when they have it, but if you have too much, like a pizza, then they go, oh. You know, when I have a crumb, I feel terrible, you know, so I try and avoid it as much as I can.
I had a mate, he couldn't have nuts, it'd kill him, you know what I mean? Nuts, that obviously different, not that algae that was in it.
Yeah, it depends on the symptom if he is.
So, could I have, if I did start drinking lager, I don't know my tolerance level, could that write me right off? And my hangover could be terrible.
I'm pretty certain if you have a few lagers, it's gonna hit you. Same again, most because obviously what you've come up with, apart from the almonds isn't too common, but gluten in particular, it comes up with a lot of people. So this is definitely going to relate to the people on here now. So most people, they have a few beers and they at least go and they get gassy and they feel that full feeling that people get, or the hangover's worse. When you switch over, maybe everyone watching, maybe even if you don't want to come in or whatever, you're just curious, maybe switch to a Corona or a gluten-free one, notice the difference, and you'll sort of see what I mean, because, you know, it's very common gluten. Okay,
thank you very much. And one more thing, where can we find it? On social media or?
Social media, it's at JD Testing _. We've got 2 locations, so there's one in Prescott, which is here, and there's one in McGull with Desiree, who's a qualified nutritionist, who's amazing as well. So she knows the exact same as me, probably a little bit more now, because she'll be a nutrition side, but yeah, definitely, if you do suffer, if anyone does suffer really bad or anything like that, 100% you need to come in. For the sake of 30 minutes, £55 to change your life, it's worth it.
Please, thank you very much, John.
Alright.
So on reflection from last night, going to the algae test, I'm glad that I took it. It was good, it was beneficial for me, because I already had it in England. I definitely knew it was almonds. There was something in the almond milk that come with me right away when it comes to my stomach bloating and being in discomfort, but I'm glad that I've done it. It was beneficial to me, and I think, what was it, wheat? Let's have a look. Wheat, gluten, barley gluten, lager gluten, and almonds. I already knew about the almonds. It was obvious to me, because as soon as I drank the almond milk, that time when I was a vegan, that time for all them hours, but That messed me up, the almond. Wheat, but I love scones. I love a scone. I don't know why I love a scone, but I love a scone. You can't get them here. Ireland do a good scone. But yeah, when I go out and say like I go to a Chinese and I get soup, I'll say take the noodles out and put more vegetables in, just because of how the noodles make me feel. Or if I'm gonna go and train, I'll never have bread before a session. I can eat up to 30 minutes before a session and not feel discomfort or sick if I have certain types of foods, but I know what them foods are, and they're definitely not bread, so I won't eat bread. If I do eat bread, if I like stopping off, I've got another session to go, stop up at like a coffee shop or something like that before my next session, I won't have, I'll give it like 2 hours before I have a sandwich, a butty, as we say in Liverpool. So barley, I couldn't tell you what barley is. Oh yeah, I could actually. Barley soup. Yeah, I like barley actually. I actually like barley. I'm sad about that. Lager, I don't bevy, but I might start bevying just to see how bad it feels. And yeah, the almonds, there's nothing else. But on this list here, there's oats, rye, rice, cow's milk, yogurt, cheese, chocolate, tea, coffee, yeast, sugar cane. So yeah, that was one you hear people say a lot, don't you? My skin goes bad after I eat chocolate, and I always wondered why. People would say that, I didn't actually believe it. Thought it was ordinary, but it makes sense, doesn't it? John was telling me that it can come out on your skin and stuff like that. Allergies and intolerances can show on your skin, and he's got some good cases there on his social media. Go on his profile and have a little look. He's got some good testimonies. Pork, turkey, cod. Yeah, so that's it, family. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Go down there, have a look. Very cheap, definitely worth it, but have a nice day.